Welcome back. This is the next video in a series of videos that I'm doing on the plants that I'm growing, or in this case, the bonsai that I am training. What you are looking at today is a southern catalpa. At least I think it's a southern catalpa because it grew directly underneath the larger catalpa tree that happens to be in our front yard. Of course, every year these trees produce very long beam pods, sometimes, at least in our case, upwards of nearly 2 feet in length, which is just incredible to watch them grow. And then in fall, they shatter open and they produce these little leaves that, well, they look like wings of a butterfly or of a bird. And the wind hopes to carry these and they'll grow elsewhere. Of course, it's not a very effective system because usually they just get stuck in the bean pods, and then wherever the bean pods fall, which is, well, directly underneath the tree, a bunch of little trees grow up the next year. And I really like this one. It had a beautiful trunk, and it had a lot more definition to it because this has actually been growing for 2 years in the ground. The first year when I noticed it, I just cut it back, and it grew a lot down below, and it had a bunch of nice little branches. And then when I dug it up to transplant it right at the end of November, I believe, right before, I think, the first frost. So I know it was after the first frost. She had lost all of her leaves, and I thought this is the perfect time. I should bring her in, and I did. I just put, it was a pretty tall stick at the time. It was a nice curvy stick. It had several curves and a couple nice branches, and I just put it in a red Solo cup filled with potting soil and just put it in my windowsill and hoped that it would root. Because when I removed it from the ground, not a lot of root, as you can expect, just mostly one big taproot and very few fine feeders. So I thought, if it makes it, it doesn't. I don't really care. Next year there'll be a whole new crop and I could start training them, and you know. Luckily it took. About a month ago, I realized there was a little bump on the trunk, and this was about at the point where I was just about to throw it away, because I had been taking it in, getting it warm, trying to get it to come out, and it just wasn't, and I thought it was dead. In fact, 3/4 of the tree had died back, and I went, oh no, it's going to die. I've had a lot of trouble getting a catalpa to live indoors, and I was really sad that I was about to lose another one. Then I noticed, hey, there's a little bump of green here. Sure enough, a little bump of green turned into a big leaf, and then about 5 other big leaves. Of course, I've cut back the older leaves at this point, leaving some little scars, but it's growing quite well. As you can see, the leaf size is relatively big compared to a hand. I mean, they're not as big as some of the really big ones you get, especially in like the middle of summer. Those things are just gigantic. So the leaf size has been reduced. I mean, it's still obnoxiously big for the size of the trunk, but it's not bad. If I spin this thing around, you can see the ugly pruning scar, which originated from 3/4 of the tree dying back, which it's sad that it did, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad with what's left behind. I'll go in a little closer here in just a minute, but I'm kind of glad with the style, because I wanted this tree to be small. I wanted it to be small. I wanted it to be a really small tree. No bigger than this in its end. Of course, it'll be way more defined. It'll have branches. And I want to get the leaf size, I don't know, about half. That's not impossible. But already they're relatively small for a tree of, especially of southern catalpa. I think they have bigger leaves. Or is it bigger flower petals? I don't know. I'm not too well versed in telling the difference between northern catalpa and southern catalpa, but yeah, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer and show you the trunk. So this is the trunk of my little southern catalpa. As you can see here, there is a little aerial root, which, even though it looks quite nice, and it's really weird to see one, it's going in a bad direction, and it's, at this development of the tree, I'm going to probably get rid of it, just because it'll grow at the same rate as the trunk and all of that, and it'll become at some point too thick, and it'll look really quite ugly, so I will be reducing that. As you can see, this trunk has a nice curve to it, a nice natural curve. It's kind of hard to show because the leaves are blocking out the light. but it has this nice natural curve to it, which I really like, and I think it really adds something to it. Which is sad, is that it lost most of its definition when 3/4 of the tree died back. So I was really sad to see that. But in this case, I think what's left is actually better than what I would have had. I would have had a tree that would be a medium style tree, a medium height or size tree at the end, and I don't really want too many of those. I'm more of a smaller bonsai person, you know, and most of the trees fit that style. But in this case, I want to try something new. I want to try something small, not medium, because most of the ones I have at the time will probably become medium. Even though I don't really like medium style trees, I either like small or a nice substantial size to them. So, but I want to try something really small with this one. So yeah, I just really wanted to show off this tree because it's quite cute. You know, it looks the most developed out of any of my trees at the time. So yeah, I just really wanted to show it off. If you like this video, say so down below in the comments. Give it a like if you could. And thank you for watching this video. I really hope you did enjoy it. And until next time, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.